Let's hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some frickin' money. It's time for Pocket with Jo.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Jo here with SportsGrid. It's time for Pocket with Jo over here on SportsGrid TV on X. Now, if you took the shutout last night between the Isles and the Vegas Golden Knights, well, we were on the wrong side of that. How did Vegas get shut out by Sorokin on their own home ice? I'm still shaking my head with how that game finished. Sorokin recording the shutout. The Isles getting a 4-0 win over Vegas at home in the Fortress. Just so shocking to see that one. You guys know I was riding Aiden Hill pretty strong in that, expecting him to be the stronger of the two goaltenders. Now, if you did play it to that under of 5.5, ulting it down, you did make some money there. So hopefully you guys made some money with those games yesterday. We had some great games out there on the ice, that is for sure. And we have a solid lineup of games today. Now, I always caution you guys on a Friday, you never know what is going to happen out there on the ice on a Friday. We have teams looking ahead to those Saturday matchups. So definitely something we're going to take into account here today. No one was looking ahead more so than the Colorado Avalanche in that last matchup versus the Chicago Blackhawks, in which the Blackhawks were able to dominate them. So always something that we're going to be looking for out there, you guys. You can't bet the dogs unless you know the situation is just perfect out there. That was the perfect situation out there for the Chicago Blackhawks in that last game. And now they're going to be playing again today. So we're going to jump into that game. It is always a Freaky Friday, Timothy. That is for sure. Irish King, welcome. And Matt, happy Friday to you as well. So let's jump into these. We're going to look at the Vancouver Canucks versus the Carolina Hurricanes first. Now, I am liking some unders today. So this is one of those games where I expect it to stay under the total. We got a total of 5.5. I know it's a low total, especially when you look at the offenses here for both of these teams, but I got to take the under 5.5 at plus 110. Carolina is going to look to lock down on the defensive side. We know the Vancouver Canucks are so strong out there on the road that the Carolina Hurricanes cannot allow them to play a really solid back and forth goal fest in this one. Now, I understand that we could see it go over, but what I look at here is, yes, it's Tokarski, expected. He has to get the support from the defense. We know the Carolina Hurricanes are a team that stop those shots. They allow limited shots on goal per game. When we're looking at them, though, they've been pretty hot. They've scored 16 goals over their last 4 games, so averaging 4 goals per game over their last 4. Vancouver cannot allow them to get into that situation. This is the second night of a back-to-back for the Carolina Hurricanes. I think the offense takes a step back. On the second night of a back-to-back, this team has been strong, winning their last 6. But I look here, Demko has to bring it. The Vancouver Canucks are strong out there on the road. Quinn Hughes is back in this lineup. Elias Pettersson, still question marks if he will be out there on the ice tonight. We've seen Vancouver just absolutely struggling to light the lamp. Demko has to be strong between the pipes. Tokarski has to get the support from the defense here of the Canes. And then I think we stay under the 5.5. I do think there's a possibility of the upset win here by the Vancouver Canucks. There's just so much plus money. When we look at those lines, the Vancouver Canucks at plus 134, we keep losing value in this, you guys. It was plus 140, plus 145 on some books earlier today. It is dropping even on FanDuel, where I'm giving you the odds right now. It's dropped by 4 in the last 20 minutes here. So it was plus 138, now plus 134. So watch those lines. They are shifting on this one as money comes in on Vancouver. Vancouver's lost their last 3. So this is a team looking to break that losing streak. They lost in overtime in their last 2. So that last overtime loss was to the Washington Capitals, 2-1. Tight back and forth battle. Now, if you're looking for a playmaker, even though I'm liking a lower scoring game, JT Miller is who you're going to look at here for the Vancouver Canucks. JT Miller has scored a goal in 4 of the last 5 versus the Carolina Hurricanes. So this is a team that he's so strong against. He has 8 goals and 21 assists on the season. So we've really seen great things out of JT Miller. And I think he plays a pivotal role in this game. You could look at him for his points tonight, too. Probably a safer way to go in a lower scoring game here. Another trend that you've seen with the Carolina Hurricanes off a win, they've come out and had those struggles in the first period. Off their last 5 games off a win, they have lost that first period. So if you just want to look at Vancouver in the first period to come out nice and strong, get a win in the first period and then get in and out of this game, I don't blame you at all. Now, the last time these teams faced up, we did see the Canes get the 4-3 win in OT. So tight battles between these two. Again, the Canes on the second night of a back-to-back, which has worked to their favor. The last 6 on a second night of back-to-backs, they've been able to get the win. But it's, you look here at Vancouver, the value, I'm playing the number here at plus 134, plus 138. No matter what you can get it at, you're getting plus 130 something. It is a Vancouver game for me. Now, this is the first night of a back-to-back for the Vancouver Canucks. They have the Leafs tomorrow. I don't think they're going to put any team, like the mindset won't be, we got to beat the Leafs tomorrow. The mindset will be, we got to beat the Canes first. This team's sitting third in the Metro, strong at home, 16-5. So expect them to look to break their losing streak tonight. Expect them to come out nice and strong. Look for this game to stay under the total of 5.5. The upset win here and JT Miller for the goal is where I'm going to go. Derek, I don't think anyone was laughing at your Isles picks yesterday. So congratulations on getting the Isles. Nicely done there. That is for sure. So still high from last night's win. Yeah, they come in nice and high. Overtime sprinkle. Actually, I don't mind this one going to overtime. 1-1 style game going to overtime. I think it's a really low scoring game. Let's look at the Chicago Blackhawks next. The Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Detroit Red Wings. This game should be a fun one, you guys. I'm expecting a lot of goals out here. The Chicago Blackhawks are coming in at plus 152 on the money line, plus 184 here for the Detroit Red Wings. Now, this total sitting at 5.5, minus 138 to the over 5.5, Ulta 6.5 to the over. I know the struggles we've seen out of Chicago to score, but I do think in this one, we're going to see those goals racking in. So I will take the over. I will ult it to over 6.5, get that plus money. Expect at least 7 goals in this game. I expect 9. I expect a 5-4 win for one of these teams, and I expect this one to go to overtime. The books are expecting this to go to OT, you guys, too. Look at that line. Overtime bets only plus 290. As soon as they keep dropping it below 300 here, I'm jumping in. It was a point where we were getting plus 380s for so many games to go to overtime. Now we've seen that big difference where now they dropped it to plus 300 for a lot of these games. Those were cashing for us. This one at plus 290, sign me up all freaking day, you guys. I really do think overtime is in play between these two teams. Now you look here at the Chicago Blackhawks, and we talked about their win versus Colorado. Was that as much a win for Chicago as it was for a loss for Colorado? A little bit of both, right? Like Chicago came out so strong in that one, but we talked about the situationship there for Colorado. They were off a big win versus the Florida Panthers. They had a big opponent on deck, and they had the lonely Chicago Blackhawks right in the middle of that. Never a strong place to bet a favorite. So always look at those situations when you're betting hockey. It plays more into things than it does across any other league. Like you look at football, and yes, you can look at that sandwich spot in football, but ultimately there is, weeks in between. When you're looking here at hockey, that place for Colorado was the first night of a back-to-back versus the Blackhawks. So now you have a confident Chicago Blackhawks team rolling in here. Tyler Bertuzzi has been just lighting the lamp like crazy. We're getting him at plus 280, plus 290 to get an anytime goal tonight. He has 9 goals since the beginning of December. So we have seen him really stepping up for Chicago. I like what Connor Bedard brings to the table as well. I look for Bertuzzi and Connor Bedard for the anytime points tonight. Now, Chicago has struggled versus the Red Wings. They've lost the last 4 meetings versus the Red Wings. The Red Wings won earlier in November. It was a 4-1 win for them there, and Cam Talbot is in net. So it's not going to be easy for Chicago to score tonight, but I do think that they get those goals up on the board. We're looking at a Detroit Red Wings team that scored and won their last 5 games. They're off the overtime win versus the Ottawa Senators 3-2. This team is rolling extremely hot. Alex DeBrincat and Dylan Larkin are playing fantastic hockey out there. They need to shore up the blue line a little bit, but this team has been getting those wins with those defensive issues. I think with the defensive issues, you do look for Chicago to be able to score. As one off-road game for Chicago. I don't love them to get the win, but I think we could see the Red Wings keep rolling. 5-4 win, overtime game. Overtime's my favorite bet at plus 290. And then player props. Both teams to score in the first period. Let me actually get you the odds on that because I'm drawing a blank off the top of my head. So first period, over 1.5 goals. You know, if I like the both teams to score, I expect it to go over 1.5 goals. That's coming in at minus 118. Again, I just don't love the value on the over 1.5 goals. Yes, I think we're going to see 2 goals in the first period, but more than likely, each of these teams will light the lamp. So both teams to score in the first period at plus 180. You know, I'm completely sold on that in this matchup, especially when I think it's going to be a 5-4 style game. So give me the both teams to score at plus 180. You can take the over 1.5 and lay that juice as well. I'm going to look at Patrick Kane here versus his former team. How can we not look at a player versus his former team? He spent so long with Chicago. His anytime goal at plus 270 tonight. I love for the Red Wings. And then I told you Tyler Bertuzzi out here for Chicago. Dylan Larkin has scored a goal in each of the Red Wings' last 4 games. So I think you look at him tonight. I think this is a perfect opportunity for a same game parlay. We'll build a same game parlay in this game at the end of the show. So make sure if you can't hang around, come back. I will bookmark timestamp when we do the recap as well as the same game parlay. DeBrincat for the anytime goal. How can you deny the cat out there? Looking at DeBrincat, never take his shots on goal, you guys. Trust him for the goal, not the shots. He can come out, he can get 1 shot, 2 shots and get that goal. But his number's normally a 2.5. He struggles to get those 3 shots on goal. So always something to remember. Cat and Kane for the points 2-legger. I love where you're going, Mo, at plus 128. I think that is a fantastic one. So you guys, that is Patrick Kane there and Alex DeBrincat of the Detroit Red Wings for a point at plus 128. Mo is definitely on the money with that one. And Larry, happy Friday. It feels like a very good Friday out here. We've got that rhythm today. Let's keep going. The Montreal Canadiens taking on the Washington Capitals. Okay. Total 6.5 in this one, plus 116 to the over 6.5. I have a feeling this was a 5.5. You guys, I've got to look at some line movement out there. But I didn't think this was a 6.5 last night when I looked at the number. I could be mistaken. I looked at these lines pretty early in the night before the football game kicked off. So hopefully you guys watched that one. It was absolutely fantastic. We got a total of 6.5. Minus 142 to the under. You guys know I'm not going to lay that kind of juice to the under in this matchup. Plus 180 here for the Montreal Canadiens and minus 220 for the Washington Capitals. Now, if you like the Caps, you can't bet that money line. Minus 1.5, you'd look at laying the puck line at plus 114 or betting them in reg. Looking at this matchup here, this is going to be a game where I want to take it all out of it. Like, I don't want to look at the puck line. I don't want to look in regulation. Montreal's been a sneaky team, right? Like, they've won their last 2. They beat the Vancouver Canucks in overtime 5-4 Monday at home. They beat the Avs in a shootout win, 2-1 on the road on Saturday. So this is a team that's finding a way. We know they rolled into Vegas as well. They got that win. They got the win over the Florida Panthers. Like, they've been so sneaky out here. They've covered the puck line in their last 9 games as an underdog, you guys. This team rolling into the majority of these games. I can't remember in the last 9 games if they've been a favorite. They're normally the underdog. We know the Habs play in these games, but they're playing tight freaking hockey out there. So I don't want to lay the 1.5 with the Capitals. Are the Capitals a better team? Absolutely. Do the Capitals have the better goaltending? That is a question mark. So Logan Thompson, yes, I cannot deny what he's been doing. But if you just look at the numbers here for Jacob Dobbs, this kid has been electric. He is shocking the NHL world with what he's been able to do coming out this season. He's only allowed 1 goal on 57 shots on his freaking net. Something has to give, right? This Washington Capitals team should be able to score on him. I really do think. You look at him. He's played those 2 games. He's got 2 wins. He's got a for 8 goals against average. Like, just insane. A 982 save percentage. So 1 goal on 57 shots. And that's playing against Colorado and Florida. It's not like he played against Chicago and I don't even know, and the Sharks, right? Like, it's not even like he played against weaker opponents. He played against two of the best opponents in the league, the reigning Stanley Cup champs, as well as the Colorado Avalanche. And you know how potent that offense is. So I think something has to give in this one. I'm looking for the Washington Capitals. I know a lot of people are going to want to look at this one to the under. In this one, it's coming in at, again, 6.5 at -142. What I'm going to do here, because I do have faith in Logan Thompson, is I'm just going to look at the Washington Capitals team total, and I'm taking that over. I expect them to get 4 goals. This team is so potent. They know how to run up the goals, and they won't stop in this. They're off that win versus the Vancouver Canucks 2-1 in OT. So their offense needs to start clicking. First night of a back-to-back, the Predators on deck tomorrow, sitting still first in the Metro. First night of a back-to-back at home tomorrow versus the Stars here for the Montreal Canadiens. So give me the team total of the Washington Capitals over 3.5. It's coming in at -116. Now, Ovi held off the board in the last 2 games. You guys, 22 goals away from catching Wayne Gretzky. Give me Ovechkin in this one for the anytime goal tonight. The last meeting versus Montreal, we did see Washington get a 4-2 win. Okay. In that game, we saw a goal out of Ovi and 2 assists. I'm going big on Ovi tonight. Let's look at Ovi. Let's look at what we can alt his numbers to here, you guys. All odds over on FanDuel. Ovi for the anytime goal coming in at +105. Ovi for 2 goals. Give me Ovechkin for freaking 2 goals tonight, +650. I'm writing it down because I got to get it in right after. I don't want to make you guys sit here while I get this in. Ovi for 2+ goals coming in at +650. Ovechkin for the hat trick, +3,200. Sign me up. That is a sprinkle. You guys, it's my coffee money. So tomorrow morning, I'm either super happy with my Starbucks sitting here doing the show with you guys, or I don't get Starbucks tomorrow, and that won't be pretty. Capitals and the under 6.5, same game parlay. Yeah, I think, Tony, that is a nice way to go. I can see the Washington Capitals winning this 4-2. So that is a very solid way. Was 6.5 last night? Okay, so still sitting at the 6.5. Derek, did we see movement, though, in the juice on that one? I remember looking at this and thinking the juice to the under wasn't that bad. Yeah, Tony, Montreal has to be a little tired. Yeah, it's not up. It really isn't up yet, Derek. So we'll have to see what that comes in at for his save shots on goal. But this should be a great game. I do think it's a great game for Ovechkin. Now, you look at, though, Montreal. Nick Suzuki, Caulfield are playing great. Tom Wilson, it's Tom Wilson. Yeah, not Tim Wilson. I want to always say Tim Wilson. Tom Wilson has been playing electric as well for the Washington Capitals. So if you want to look at those points, that was something else I was going to play around with. The 2+ points for Ovi tonight's +210. I think a fantastic way to go. Tom Wilson for 2+ points coming in at +360. I think Tom Wilson is definitely in for some points tonight. Now, when you look at Montreal, +188, they covered that puck line in the last 9. I don't think they cover the puck line in this one because of goaltending. I think this kid comes back down to reality a little bit. I will tip my hat to him if he's able to come out and do what he did. You guys know what I'm talking about. In his first 2 games out there against the Panthers and Colorado. I just don't see it tonight. Montreal, that +1.5 is -140. So not enough value here. Caulfield, though, should be able to score tonight. He has 1 goal in each of the last 4 games. Caulfield has been absolutely electric. We know he's also dangerous on the kill. He's a player that can break away on that kill and score on opponents if they're taking their power play lightly. Yeah, you got to love Ovi. Ovi is just definitely the man tonight. Okay, let's move on to the next game, you guys. I tell you, we could talk 5 hours on each of these games. I get so excited for them. I hope you guys love hockey as much as I do. If you're here every day, you must love hockey. Let's look at the LA Kings versus the Winnipeg Jets. Next one on deck. Now, looking at the LA Kings, they're coming in at -113 here on the money line. -106 for the Winnipeg Jets. Total of 5.5. Now, the Kings have really played strong in this matchup. The total 5.5 minus 128 to the over, plus 104 to the under. I'm going to take this one under, you guys. I worry about the Kings and the mindset coming into this one. We all know the terrible fires that are happening in California right now. And this is where this team lives. You know, their last game postponed versus the Calgary Flames. So I can't put my money on the LA Kings. Darcy Kemper, though, has been very strong versus the Jets. Looking at Darcy Kemper versus the Jets, 10 games played. He's won 7 of those 10 with a 3.00 goals against average and a 917 save percentage. So Darcy Kemper should be able to play a strong game. Looking at Connor Hellebuck, solid numbers as well versus LA. I'm going to look at this one to stay under the total of 5.5. Defenses really have ran these teams, even though we know strong offenses on both sides. You look at the LA Kings, third best in goals allowed on the season, only allowing 2.37. And we look at the Winnipeg Jets, second best in goals allowed, actually first in goals allowed with only 2.29. So really tight to the number here with what both of these teams do allow. I'm looking for the defenses to lock down. And I do think if we see those goals, it's coming on the power play. The Winnipeg Jets so phenomenally strong on that power play, best in the league, converting 32% of the time. Now, we do have a strong kill here for the LA Kings, ninth best, 82.6% kill rate. I think something will give for the Winnipeg Jets on the power play. I would look at Josh Norris for the power play point tonight. He has been so strong out here for the Winnipeg Jets. He's been able to score a goal in each of the Jets' last 2 games. I'd look at him here at home. You know, Kyle Connor is a go-to as well. Now, one thing to look at and that I do really like here, even though I'm going for the under, I think the Winnipeg Jets come out strong in the first period. The Winnipeg Jets first period puck line, laying that half a goal coming in at plus 168. We have the Avs on deck for the Jets tomorrow, 4th in the Central. That is a divisional matchup. So that's another reason I like playing the first periods here. If things get away from the Winnipeg Jets, I think they ease off the gas. And just in that third period, if the Kings do get up, they just call the game over and done with. Don't put out too much exhaustion so that they can beat tomorrow the Avs. When I look here at what we've seen out of the Kings, first game since Saturday. So it's been a long time since they played. I think when you look at a team, I was a little bit worried about them going into that game versus Calgary with how long they had been off, and now they've been off extra time here. So I think the Winnipeg Jets can have the legs under them faster than we will see out of the LA Kings. Tomorrow, the Kings will be in Calgary, and then they're at Edmonton to face the Oilers on a Monday, and then Vancouver Thursday and the Kraken on Saturday. So they've got this Pacific trip ahead of them. This team sitting 9-8-4 out there on the road, and the Winnipeg Jets so strong in the Central at 15-4-2 at home as well. So give me the Winnipeg Jets first period puck line laying a half a goal plus 168. Give me the under 5.5 and Josh Morrissey for the power play point tonight. And then last game, you guys, the San Jose Sharks. You know, this is the one we are all excited for. The San Jose Sharks taking on the Utah Hockey Club. Total 6.5 minus 130 to the under right now on FanDuel. Seeing a little bit of juice tick up in this one to that under. Plus 106 to the over. Plus 230 here for the Sharks. And minus 285 here for the Utah Hockey Club. Who wants to lay any sort of juice, let alone the puck line here on the Utah Hockey Club, laying 1.5 at minus 110? This is a team, it's the first night of a back-to-back. Isles on deck tomorrow. They have to stop the bleeding here. They've lost their last 2. They're off a loss to the Florida Panthers. They were only able to put up 1 goal. They're sitting 6th in the Central. This team has struggled at home, 5-8-4 at home on the season. They are better out there on the road. So now you want me to lay over $2 for this team that just doesn't breed confidence at home. They're 1-5-2 in their past 8 games. You guys, so since December 22nd, they've won 1 game. I can't back this team here. Now, they did beat the San Jose Sharks in December 4-3 win. They've lost their last 4 home games. And yes, they got to get back on track with Vejmelka in net. Georgiev has decent numbers win-wise versus Utah when they were Arizona. Georgiev, when Utah was Arizona, had a record of 5-1-3. So 5 wins, 1 loss. And then He had a goals against average high of 2.80 and an 8.95 save percentage. So I do think the goals will come in on him, but I do think he has the ability to record the win. We have the Sharks. They're allowing these goals to come in, though. So the Sharks need to offensively really step up. If they're going to step up in this one, Celebrini and Tyler Toffoli on the second and third line really have to get going in this matchup, because we got Clayton Keller on the other side, and Clayton Keller has been stellar here for the Utah Hockey Club. So we've got playmakers on both sides of the puck, you guys. I'm going to look for the first period to go over 1.5 goals, minus 120. I'm also going to look at both teams to score in the first period at plus 184. Granlund is definitely someone you want to look at here for the San Jose Sharks. Celebrini has 3 goals and 5 assists over the past 10. And then Tyler Toffoli. Those would be your playmakers for the Sharks. When you look here at Utah, Logan Cooley and Dylan Guenther on the second line have been fantastic together. I would parlay both of them for a point tonight, get that plus money. Clayton Keller, he leads his team here with points and assists. He has 4 goals and 8 assists over the past 10 games. So Clayton Keller, I would look at him tonight to come out nice and strong as well. This should be a great game. Give me the first period. I just want to get in and out of this game. Yeah, I look at the Kings, Timothy, resting 4 days. It equals rest for me as well. Larry, I like where you're going. Ovi, 2+ points parlayed with Tyler Bertuzzi, the Chicago Blackhawks, Cole Caulfield of the Montreal Canadiens, Patrick Kane of the Red Wings, Clayton Keller of Utah, and Tyler Toffoli of the Sharks. Anytime goals. I absolutely love where you're freaking going with that, Larry. That's going to be a moneymaker. If you could just parlay that together and drop the value of that so everyone knows the value before going in to tail that. Yeah, Tony, no coffee tomorrow. Well, no Starbucks. I will always have my French press. My French press is always sitting here beside me, but it will be no Starbucks if I put money. If I say I'm betting my coffee money and then I actually bet my coffee money, I first sprinkle on some of these. And then if it doesn't hit, I just tell myself I can't have Starbucks for the day. Even if I hit other bets. So it's kind of my punishment for not betting the right thing. Okay, guys, let's get into the recap. We've talked 27 minutes on 5 games. I absolutely love it. I appreciate each and every one of you who have dropped those comments there in the chat. The show wouldn't be as great as it is without you guys here on the daily. So thank you so much. If you guys can hit that like button, hit that retweet button, hit that subscribe button over on YouTube. Stay tuned for my Cup of Joe. I know my Cup of Joe hasn't been out as of late. Things have just been super busy, you guys, but Cup of Joe plays will come out. Make sure you stay tuned to the SportsGrid app as well. Madden Quickie for this weekend, you guys. I know you want it. My Buckeyes are playing tonight. Super excited for that as well. We'll have a college football Madden Quickie out there too. So definitely something to look forward to. We will build the player point parlay. We're going to build that. Today is definitely the day for the player point parlay. I think we've got a lot of great games out there on the board. Okay, my dog is licking his foot. Let's stop that traffic. Eklund for a point. I don't hate that. I think that's probably a really good way to go. Let me know the value on his point tonight. Okay, recap time. The Vancouver Canucks and the Carolina Hurricanes. This says a total of 5.5. I'm going to take it to the under. Even though we can see these teams be so potent offensively, I think defense will control this game as well as goaltending. Now, Tokarski coming in here for the Carolina Hurricanes, they will absolutely need to give him the support. But we know Vancouver's not at 100% right now. This team has been struggling to light the lamp. So give me the under 5.5. I am going to take a chance, though, on Vancouver straight up on the money line at plus 134 it is right now. I just think they have every ability to get the upset in a tight battle between these two. JT Miller for his points and his goals tonight. Definitely something I have circled. The Chicago Blackhawks versus the Detroit Red Wings. Give me the exciting game. Back and forth goal fest of the night. That lamp is going to continue to light up all night, in my opinion. So give me the over. I would ult this one. Over 6.5. We're getting a 5.5 with juice. Give me the over 6.5 with plus money. I expect 9 goals in this game. Now, who's going to score these goals for us, you guys? Give me Tyler Bertuzzi here, the Chicago Blackhawks. I think Connor Bedard can get a goal as well. I like Bertuzzi the most. Patrick Kane, I absolutely love versus his former team here for the Red Wings. And then DeBrincat and Larkin. All three of those players for the Red Wings have every ability. This game, sign me up for overtime. Overtime coming in at plus 290. I absolutely love. The Montreal Canadiens and the Washington Capitals. Let me get in and out on the team total here of the Washington Capitals. Leave Montreal out of it. Give me the Capitals team total over 3.5 goals at minus 116. Give me Ovechkin. Ovechkin for the anytime goal. Not great value, but I do think it comes. Ovi for 2+ goals, plus 650 we found, you guys, and Ovi for the hat trick at plus 3,200. Definitely laddering that up. Worth some coffee money out there on that. Ovechkin, 22 goals away from Wayne Gretzky. Held off the board in the last 2 games. You know he's coming out with absolute passion to get those goals on the board. Dylan Strom's been playing and Tom Wilson been playing really strong here for the Capitals as well. The Montreal Canadiens have been able to cover that puck line in their last 9 as a dog. This is a team that has been stepping up. That's why I just want to leave them out of the equation. I expect the goals out of the Capitals. I just don't know what we'll get out of Montreal in this one. I expect some goals, though, so those goal scorers would be Cole Caulfield. Nick Suzuki for the point, Cole Caulfield for the goal. This game to go over that total. The LA Kings versus the Winnipeg Jets. I just don't know the mindset here of the LA Kings with everything happening back at home. I do think the Winnipeg Jets come out nice and strong now. LA's been off for quite a long time. They haven't played since Saturday. You guys threw it out. Rest over rust. I think the rust comes out in the first period here for the LA Kings, even though Darcy Kemper really strong versus the Winnipeg Jets. I'm going to look at the Jets to go up in the first period. This power play best in the league. Look for those power play points tonight. So hopefully they get that first goal on the power play with Josh Morrissey, and then we can cash. The Winnipeg Jets first period puck line laying 0.5 goal at plus 168, and Josh Morrissey for the power play point. Now, I do think this is a 2-1, 2-0 style win here for the Jets. So under 2.5 goals for the Winnipeg Jets with how Darcy Kemper has played is an interesting way to go. It is scary to take the puck line first period, and that you can pick and choose, but the under 2.5 is plus 126. I think the game stays under as a whole. The San Jose Sharks versus the Utah Hockey Club. I do think the value isn't where I want it to be here for the Sharks, plus the 1.5 on the puck line. It's only coming in at minus 112. If we were getting the Sharks with more value, plus money, like plus 120 here, plus 1.5, the number would be right for me to take them with how Utah's been playing as of late. Something has to give for the Utah Hockey Club, though. I expect both of these teams to come out firing in that first period, both looking to get in that win column. Give me that first period over 1.5 goals at minus 120 and both teams to score at plus 184. You guys, that is a recap. Larry, look at you go. Plus 31,775. That is great plus money on that. So, and that's with Ovi with 1 point. So everyone who missed Larry's long shot parlay, it is, let me just pull it up here. You guys have so many comments right now. It's going to be hard to find. Larry, where did you go? Here it is. So he altered that number down to Ovi 1 point. So Ovi for 1 point parlayed with Tyler Bertuzzi, Cole Caulfield, Patrick Kane, Clayton Keller, and Tyler Toffoli for the anytime goals at plus 31,775. That is some great plus of money on there. Okay, you guys, let's keep going. Cole Caulfield, he's got to get something. Yeah, I definitely agree. And DeBrincat. Money line on the Canucks. You're not taking the money line on Canucks. Fade Canucks. Okay, you can fade the Canucks all you want. I'm playing the number. I think it's the best of the number. So that is the recap, you guys. Let's build this long shot parlay. I'm going to leave the Canucks and the Hurricanes out of it because I do think even though it's a lower scoring game and I like JT Miller out there, it's just not worth it to put in a long shot parlay. The Montreal Canadiens and the Washington Capitals, we're going to put in the long shot parlay. I believe so much in Ovechkin here. I think he comes out nice and strong. I'm going to put Cole Caulfield in there as well. And then let's put Tom Wilson. No, let's put Dylan Strome. I think if Ovi's scoring, we're going to get Dylan Strome with the points as well. The Chicago Blackhawks and the Detroit Red Wings, you guys, we're going to look at as well here. I'm going to put Bertuzzi in for the point. His points actually coming in at plus 100. Really shocked by. We're going to throw Connor Bedard in there for the point. Lucas Raymond has been phenomenally strong as well for the Red Wings. If you look at Lucas Raymond for the power play point, I won't put it into this one, but I do think a strong way to go. Patrick Kane, I absolutely love for the goal. I will put him in for the point for this long shot, and DeBrincat in for the point at minus 172. So this is a long shot parlay, you guys. This is not something that I recommend just betting these points separately. You can do any combination of them that you want. You know, when we look here at the Winnipeg Jets, it is Kyle Connor to get on the board. Sorry, traffic is nosing me here. Mark Scheifele, a strong player as well for the Winnipeg Jets. I expect those points to come in for them. And then the Sharks and the Utah Hockey Club. You guys know that we have to look at Clayton Keller here. Logan Cooley, someone I like if you just want to put Clayton Keller and Logan Cooley, but I'm going to look at I'm going to leave him out of this one. I would look at Logan Cooley for the long shot anytime goal. Celebrini and Granlund are the players, and Tyler Toffoli here for the Sharks. I'm going to look at Granlund in this long shot parlay. So we've got all the games here. I've got a 10-legger. It's not paying what Larry's plays because we're looking at just points, not those goals. I love these players, some of them for the goals as well. So plus 53.45. And this is where we're going to go with the plus 53.45. 10 players here. So 10 legs. Tyler Bertuzzi here for the Chicago Blackhawks. Connor Bedard for the Chicago Blackhawks. Patrick Kane for the Detroit Red Wings. And Alex DeBrincat for the Red Wings. Then Ovechkin for the Washington Capitals. Cole Caulfield for the Montreal Canadiens. Dylan Strome for the Washington Capitals. Clayton Keller for the Utah Hockey Club. Granlund here for the San Jose Sharks. And then Kyle Connor here for the Winnipeg Jets. So that is your 10-legger. If you want to do some same-game parlays, because FanDuel automatically puts these in same-game parlays as well. So that 10-leg point parlay coming in, it's just moved at plus 54.65. It just dropped down to 53.45. It's bouncing around. So looking at the same-game parlays, the Chicago Blackhawks and the Red Wings, the 4 players you're looking at there for the point coming in at plus 427 is Bertuzzi, Bedard, Kane, and DeBrincat. So I love all 4 of them. High scoring battle between these two. Again, I think it's a 5-4 game. So I definitely could see that cashing at plus 427. Great way to go. Looking at the Montreal Canadiens and the Washington Capitals, again, that's Ovechkin, Dylan Strome, the Capitals players, and Cole Caulfield for the Montreal Canadiens. That's coming in at 2-1. So plus 202 for those players. And then if you look at that last game, the Sharks and Utah, it's Clayton Keller and Granlund, each for a point at plus 136. My favorite bets are looking at Ovechkin for the anytime goal. For the Vancouver Canucks, I love JT Miller for an anytime goal as well. So those 2 players out there, definitely somewhere I want to go. Josh Morrissey in there for the Winnipeg Jets on the power play. I love his power play point tonight. So Ovechkin, I'm laddering up. Cole Caulfield, I will take for the anytime goal as well. So it's going to be a great night out there on the ice. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Blake's got Dylan Strome down for the point. Yeah, Dylan Strome has been playing excellent hockey out there. Yeah, you could look at Brock. I don't hate Brock Blake here for the anytime goal. I do think I would probably look at him for an assist. I would look at JT Miller and him for a point tonight. Putting the 2 of them together for a point, I think will get you nice plus money. And one will get the goal, one will get the assist, and we'll get those points coming in. Look at this. Clayton, Brock, Kane, Kempe, and Cole Caulfield. I love where you're going. Anytime goals with that. 5 players for those anytime goals. Let me know if you're going to parlay them. I would also look at taking just each player for a point, parlaying it together if you have so much faith in them to get those goals as well. It's going to be a great night out there on the ice. Mo, right back at you. I appreciate every single one of you for being here on the daily. Let's make some freaking money today. It feels like a great Friday. Freaky Friday maybe, but you know, we can always make some money on these Fridays, you guys. We'll be back tomorrow noon Eastern here on SportsGrid TV on X. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until tomorrow, I hope your bets cash. I don't even know what to say. Why did I say till tomorrow? I got something weird in my head, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies.